Now, when you're back in the UK, like, what's the one thing that you need to do? Like, what's like on the list to tick off every time?
First off, we go to Nando's always.
Yeah, I was gonna say that.
Sounds a little generic, but
it's very cliche,
it's the
but
truth.
it's true. Nando's it's fire, man. No matter how you look at
I
it.
think it's an American thing because we don't have it over there.
I don't get why. I feel like everybody who's like American who comes over loves Nando's.
Loves it. We should franchise it, G. I think we should bring it over.
I think it's actually starting in like maybe like the East Coast a little bit,
Really?
but we need it on the West Coast.
Is that your next plan then? Like,
I guess, we might as well find a different avenue of business,
We need
it's always
to,
good
yeah.
to, diversify
After
your portfolio.
music, we just go into restaurant franchising.
Yeah.
Or you could do it alongside each other, music and Nando's franchisees. It's just-
That'd be kind of nice.
And then you could perform at your Nando's.
Oh my gosh.
that's-
When we open it, we do
This
a
is actually
opening
genius.
We're
We're
onto
onto something.
We'll give you a cut, I promise, for that
Yeah,
idea.
I'll take 10%. 10% is
Okay,
fine.
that's easy. That's
Hey,
actually
better
really
than what I was
fair.
going to give. Yeah.
I
I was
know.
expecting you to start at 20 or 25 on it.
I feel I regret my decision immediately. I thought there was going to be more bargaining than that, but 10% I'll go with.
Let's
love
do it, man.
Now let's talk about your social media, because you've got millions of followers across Instagram, Facebook, Twitter. You must have had some like strange standout messages in your time, like stuff that's kind of make you take a step back and be like, hold on, what? Has there been any that kind of stand out for you that obviously you can say on the radio?
That's what I'm saying. I mean, the ones that I can say on the radio, there aren't too many, you know what I'm saying? But yeah, I mean, there's things that definitely make me go, yo, the internet's a weird and dark place,
Yeah, I feel like by being anonymous and knowing that no one really knows who's saying these things, it gives people the ability to say some crazy things. But yeah, I probably can't repeat any of those things.
I'll tell you what though, say one of the phrases that you can't like that you can't say on the radio, but I want you to swap out certain words for items on the Nando's menu.
Okay. I would love to take your hot chicken and bathe in it. Wait. This is already getting weird.
This is getting weird. Your Nando's sauce?
I would love to bathe in your sweet potato mash while your hot chicken rests upon my chin. Does that work? Does that give you the context?
You're honestly getting dirty already.
Yeah, you can fill in the blanks.
I genuinely wish I never asked.
Hey, you don't know what's on the chin. It's hot chicken Nando's.
Right, let's talk about your DMs and let's go straight in. Who's the biggest name in both of your DMs?
In our DMs?
Oh, the biggest. I mean, I honestly don't even DM anybody. Probably Jack J is probably the biggest name
probably
in
Glenski,
my
honestly.
DMs because we DM each other, funny videos, random stuff, all that.
Sliding in it's kind of just try hardish, you know what I'm saying? I mean, I get it if it's, if you're not trying to shoot your shot too hard, but I feel like I would rather the DM come to me than me DM, if that makes sense.
Or, just meet in person.
Just meet in person,
I like to, make that, see what the chemistry's like in real life. And
But yeah, I wouldn't want to expose any one of my DMs. You know what I'm saying?
So that means there are
That's
people
why
in
it's
your
the
DM.
DMs. It's meant for the DMs.
True, it's the direct messages, not for the radio. I've seen you've been in the studio a lot recently. You've been working with anyone big, like any producers? How's it all going?
Oh man, a ton of people out in LA that we just really love and respect. Our buddy Ryan that we've been working with lately, Ryan Ogren.
Oh, he's the man.
I'm telling you, we have some of the greatest records coming out. And whether they are records that are, spun towards the radio or not, it's my personal favorites. They could even just be, album songs that just make the album and we don't push the radio, but sometimes those are your favorite songs, you know what I'm saying? The ones you really just get creative and conceptual with. But yeah, I mean, there's a million people. I don't even know where to begin, but...
Yeah, we've honestly, being in LA, that's what I love about it the most, is it allows you to work with so many different people who grew up in so many different places and have so many different life stories. So they write so many different songs, and it's just great to be able to work with a bunch of people like that. But no big name producers recently. I mean, we've just been kind of messing around with other people like us who are just on the grind, I
think the dopest producers are sometimes those that don't even have notoriety yet. The ones who are hungry and the ones maybe haven't had their first hit yet. I mean, those are honestly the most fun people to work with, in my opinion, because they're striving for the same thing that you are.
I was going to say the ones that want to prove themselves as the best producers in the world. You also mentioned about how some of the songs you've written might not be songs for radio. Do you find that tricky now? Do you find that, because obviously I can imagine some songs that you write you'll love and the fans will love and loads of people will love, but some songs, do you have your label in your back here going, okay, so we need this song done for radio? Do you find it kind of tricky when it comes to writing?
Yeah, I mean, there's definitely some sort of, it's not even a compromise you have to make, because at the end of the day, whether it's a radio song or not, you want to love the song, and you have to love the song if you're going to put it out,
Yeah. No, but that's also something, I wouldn't ever blame it on any entity other than just ourselves. It's not like a label thing where they're whispering to us and saying, we need a radio hit for this time of the year, anything like that. It's honestly like me and Johnson, we want to, amass as many people as possible
Fans,
and influence people people on the grandest scale possible in the most positive way possible.
That's definitely a way to penetrate is the radio. You know what I'm
exactly. It's very necessary for us. And so we know for us to be able to keep doing what we love to do, we got to do those things. And we do enjoy them too. But we also, music taste, I feel like varies from person to person. And we're both very like passionate about R&B. Obviously Johnson loves hip hop, and I love hip hop. I don't know why I said it like that, but he's like the rapper,
Yeah.
But not those genres are not always what's on the radio. So
regardless, though, I think it really comes down to that's why we're excited to put out our first project. Having a full-length album allows you to have the best of both worlds. You can make those songs that are higher BPM, more radio leaning, and kind of fit the more formulaic model. But then at the same time, you can have those songs that have no structure, and they're just completely waves of energy that just kind of take you on a spiritual, like religious feeling journey. And even though that might not be something that you would ever hear on the radio, it doesn't matter, because those will be some of the ones that are people's favorite songs.
True. We'll talk about the album in a bit, but when you're in the studio, kind of when you're writing, when you're recording, what moods do you need to be to write the best song? Because I know a lot of people need to go in like feeling down or feeling angry or feeling like passionate about something, whereas some people just smash it out if they're in a good mood. Does it depend on the song for you?
Yeah, it really,
definitely.
I would say so.
Yeah, I feel like, you can honestly, there is an amazing song that can come out of any mood, because all songs are is putting your emotions into a sonically pleasing sound, So I think that you can be very upset, or you can be very sad, or you can be extremely mad, or you can be very happy, or you could be nervous because something's coming up. But as long as you can channel that energy,
something beautiful,
and be genuine about what you're writing, I feel like you can always create magic in the studio. But I understand how some people obviously can't work when they're in certain moods.
The biggest thing is just being fully comfortable with your ensemble in the studio at the time. Whoever that may be, the producer you're working with, if you're working with any writers, you just want to make sure there's no judgment. And that's kind of expected, in studio kind of etiquette. There's no judgment. You can shoot ideas down. You can be brutally honest. Like, that's just how it's supposed to be. You want to have everybody on the exact same page. Nobody holding their tongue. I think the biggest thing is just having the whole synergy of the room, and everybody being on that same kind of state of mind. Yeah,
you mentioned the synergy of the room. Like, obviously you need people around you who you're comfortable kind of writing around and kind of expressing yourself. What else do you need in the studio? Is there like a Jack and Jack like formula when it comes to writing a banger? Do you need like certain food? What else is in there?
Physical things. Yeah, I always love my hot water, my lemon, my tea. And
you're a tea kind of guy.
Yeah,
for sure.
Just for
right
singing
purposes.
UK, Yeah, no, I love that. We don't really require too much.
The lights have to be at the right setting. If it's nighttime out, you got to have them a little bit brighter. But if it's daytime out, you want them a little dimmed. Like, I don't know. I think there's a certain vibe for different times of the day, and whatever mood the song is. Even,
always, we enjoy having nice long lunch meals while we're in the studio, and ordering in food. That's like a huge habit. But there's nothing that has to be there before we get there.
Yeah, of course not. Sometimes if we're making a hype track, a little tequila doesn't hurt.
Oh, always. Yeah. No, we love that. I don't know.
Now, a lot of people in the UK, they were introduced to you after you teamed up with Jonas Blue on the track Rise. We're still playing it every day on the show, to be fair. It's so big. It's everywhere at the moment. How did that collaboration come about?
Oh, that was awesome. That was Jonas Blue and his manager were actually in the car in LA driving from the studio, I think, to another meeting or something. And they heard us on the radio. I guess one of our tracks was on the radio. And I think they just thought we would be a good fit for this song that they had already written called Rise. And they just called us, and we were super down because we've never really done a dance collaboration like that before. And we didn't know what to expect. We knew Jonas was massive over here in the UK. So we were like, this can only help. And it's a great song. And we cut it for real quick. And it just came out like a month later. And since then, this has been a roller coaster ride like we've never experienced. So we're super happy about how everything worked out. And Jonas and his
super
team
grateful
awesome.
They reached out, man. Yeah.
So what's to come from Jack and Jack? Because obviously you've had this collaboration with Jonas Blue. What's to come from you guys in kind of the next year or so?
We just want to keep the ball rolling. We want to keep this momentum going for sure. Our next single is probably coming out September, probably mid-September. And then we're going to be putting out our first project. That's going to be the first single off the project coming out next month. And the first project will probably be the top of the year. And, I don't want to say any dates, because if I say it and then it's not the actual date, our fans will literally crucify me on social media.
No, I get that.
But definitely top of the year, first quarter of next year.
Okay.
New project. And then, world tour. That's like our goal.
Yeah, the first world tour, around this project. And man, just want to take this thing internationally and just, start getting the new wave of Jack and Jack out there.
So excited to hear that. Thank you so much for coming on the show.
Hey, thanks
you
a lot,
so much
Glen.
for having us.
Appreciate you, man.